Fork is scheduled to be published in 2023 by Sunrise Tornado Game Studio. It is designed by Tate Wu and illustrated by Lily Chin. Brian Chandler of Colorblind Games sent along a prototype he was sent, so thanks to Brian for passing it along to me. 2 to 6 players play a card face down, then reveal simultaneously to see where they sit in the food chain. Depending on player count, each starts with 1 or 2 foxes. The game includes rules for 2 people and team games. All other cards are shuffled, then dealt to everyone. The number, 8 to 12, depends on player count. Don't use the Swamp Terrain suit with fewer than 4 players. Keep your hand a secret. Going clockwise, player 1 chooses a terrain or color, then plays a card face down. If it's Kale, it goes face up. Players must play a card that matches the terrain if possible. If not possible, they may play any card. The top left corner of each card shows the terrain, the bottom left star shows point value. Once everyone is gone, reveal and resolve from highest card to lowest. Foxes eat owls and rabbits rabbits eat kale. The card used to eat the lower card is discarded, and that player takes the eaten card face up in front of them. The trick, pun intended, is that the card only applies if it follows the lead terrain, aside from foxes, which are wild. Say I played a fox. I have a eat Mom's rabbit instead of Dad's owl, since Dad's owl is the wrong suit and can't score. Grandma's kale survives and returns to her. Uneaten kale that matches the terrain goes back to its owner, and score depending on how many are gained. The game ends when a player has 5 scoring cards, or if all cards have been played. Add up your points. The player with the most wins. To break down, play cards to match specific regions, dominate the food chain, and outscore your opponents. That's Fork. Our 3 and 4 player games of Fork took 10 to 15 minutes. You can play this wherever you eat dinner, or typically play games. In the 3-player game, you're less likely to have a wasted turn because there are fewer people to eat your card. That could frustrate younger gamers, which, aside from the need to hold and manage up to 12 cards, are the hardest thing for them. I recommend using a card holder. In that case, many 6-year-olds could give this a shot. In our 3rd game, Mom set the terrain as mountain and led with a kale. I had every rabbit in that suit except for the 6. Not wanting to waste a higher card, I followed with a 3. I really should have played the 7. Dad played the 6 to match that kale. That was the first game he won, too. Fork isn't necessarily about winning the trick, but rather gaining enough points through partial tricks and luck. This is unlike many other trick takers I've played. It's possible that multiple people score in a round. It's also possible that nobody scores. Due to this, luck plays a larger role in here than, say, Vamp on the Batwalk, deduction, or Fairy Season, hand management. It also means that the person who won the most tricks might not win the actual game. Here's a tip for the designer. Hares and rabbits are in the same family, but are different animals. If you want to stick with the Fork naming thing, maybe change the hares and jackrabbits. Otherwise, the components are good. The art is cute and the graphic design is done well. You can see the card tape even if your large hand of 13 is fanned out. The theme is very light though, and less thematic than other card games I've reviewed, such as Darwining and even Stew. In those games, you need to think about your decisions. That isn't to say that this is as mindless as the game War. Being able to follow card play is important. In one game, I lived with a fox and called Arctic. Dad played a matching kale face up. Mom played a fox of her own. That told me that Mom was out of Arctic cards since she couldn't otherwise follow suit. Speaking of suits, it's interesting that the lead player gets to choose what everyone else could play. If you're out of luck and or don't have a fox, playing a 2 or 3 in-suit rabbit might still allow you to sneak away with an off-suit kale. It won't happen as often as Vamp on the Batwalk clever steal the show mechanism though, and depends more on luck. Even with terrible luck, dad-like luck, this game is incredibly quick, so you can jump right in again. The box fits in a pocket, is easy to teach and play. This is a good game to bring for lunchtime, indoor recesses, before and after school programs, and so on. If you're expected to deduce what others have in their hands, you aren't given the tools like in Vamp the Batwalk, or even non-trick takers like 1, 2, 3 Cheese, Uno, and so on. Sometimes what you want to do is literally out of your hands. That's why Vamp the Batwalk is so good. By being able to see everyone's hands but yours, deduction is the key. Team mode made this even less interesting. You still can't stop your opponents from accomplishing a higher score, can't mitigate bad luck, and now can't do much to help your teammate. Fork is a trick-taking card game in a pocket-sized deck box. It's quick, has good graphic design, a charming theme, and that's about it. This wasn't very fun to play and is just forgettable. When writing this review, I kept thinking about 1, 2, 3 Cheese's rules and was like, how did Fork go again? The best thing about it is that it got me to think about how much I enjoyed Fairy Season and Vamp on the Batwalk. Seriously, they're so good.